So this bed is predominantly stuff that's been given to me. So that's what this tour will be. It's sort of fun. Um, this red bush was this. There's two plants there. They were hedges that were about, I don't know, 5-6 feet tall. And I thought they died back during the freeze, and so I cut them back a bit, and then they started growing back. And I decided to cut them to the ground and just let them grow up from there. And then these guys, and there's really kind of only two of them at this stage, or there's one. There was a third that died, I don't know, a couple years ago. And they're just gradually kind of dying off and looking pretty bad. And you see where they are now? They came all the way to the edge of this bed. And they also stood, I don't know, between 4 and 6 feet tall, and they'd have these shooters. So I decided to go ahead and trim them back and liberate this bed and see what we can make grow here. So let's start down yonder. Those are the oldest plants. They've been here, the ones I just showed you, they've been here since the building was built, the house was built. But here's a rosemary. Martin specifically requested rosemary, so he got a rosemary plant. And it's not grown up a lot, but it's definitely established. It's been in there nearly a year. I forget exactly when I planted it. Maybe it was closer. Maybe I put it in the summer, in fact. And then here's one salvia. And this one actually sat in a pot for a long time. And you'll see it's got some sort of disease or bugs or something that I was dealing with on the leaves. But most of the dead leaves there's lots and lots of new growth that doesn't seem to be impacted, and one little baby pink flower. And this blue flower is not actually it's its neighbor, another salvia that looks completely different. So like if you see this guy, its leaves are rounded, and I don't know what else to say about them. And then these ones, they're pointy and kind of serrated. And these flowers are just so funny because it's just shooting out. It's this one's so nice, like compact and bush-like, and this one sort of wants to take up all this space. So that's kind of funny. And then the fourth plant, the third salvia that I planted at the same time of those is this guy. And I thought it died during the freeze. So I cut it down to the ground, and look at it. It grew up and it wants to be a tree. It just wants to be a tree. In fact, it was even higher, and I trimmed off the center and it shot out these guys. But I'm happy to see there's some more growth down there, so it'll take on a little more of a bush-like appearance, maybe. So those are all from last summer. Newer plants this year include this little moonflower. Obviously, there's no flowers yet. It's brand new. I just put this in the ground, I don't know, about a month ago. So I'm super happy that it's taking. It's not dead. This is a weed. I don't know what it is. Happy little weed. I better find out what it is since it's flowering and going to seed before it propagates itself all over. Everything else you're seeing for the most part right now is just weeds. There's another moonflower there. And another moonflower there. This one I planted a few weeks before the others. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. Like, it really looks like it's taking. This came from my neighbor across the street. I have no idea what it is. I threw it in a pot for a few weeks because I didn't have this bed prepared, and the bush, I had to, whack the bush. But it survived. It survived its poor treatment, even if it's not flourished and exploded yet. I'm happy to see it survived. I believe it's some sort of a flower. Another itty bitty moonflower. This is a bulb I got from a different friend. He didn't know what it was. It just showed up in his yard. He gave it to me. We'll see how it does. I'll see a little bit of dying back on this leaf, and I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe it'll flower, maybe it missed its season, maybe it'll die back and flower next year. This one from across the street, just like the prior. Back there, a couple more little moonflowers. Oops, sorry, I'm still learning my camera. You'll see the one right there. And then this guy is a bigger one, and so it's having a little harder time of it. I keep trimming off some of the bigger leaves, but there's new growth. And I just dug these up from a neighbor, well, not my neighbor here, from an empty lot from where they had self-propagated, from my friend's lot. So it's hanging in there. I'm probably going to trim off more of those larger leaves. And Mother Nature's barely been doing all my watering lately, thank goodness, but some of these guys are having a little hard time of it, but they're making it. And then this is a marigold that I got from yet a different friend. Oh, look, 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 look. That's its first little baby flower starting to show. I had some marigolds in Stella last year that did incredibly well. In fact, problematically well. Their roots got really inbound, and I basically had to kill the plants to take them off, and I put them in a box. I meant to, like, a box that it was a drawer that I repurposed as a planter. So I took them out of Stella, put them in a box, a drawer, and I just think it was just too much of a shock, the whole transplant situation, because they were just so, like, I basically killed them to get them out of Stella. I've thought about planting this little guy, my little viola, either in the bed or maybe giving it a pot. Sadly, the plants in Stella don't get... Oh, look, there's a bunch of dead stuff, but look at this. Isn't that nice? Stella's not getting as much love as she needs. This is a dill that's gone to flower. Sorry, I'm again, my cinematography sucks. I think we'll end it there. We can do another Stella tour another time. The long and the short of it with Stella is the plants are just mostly too old. It's not that they're big, it's that they're bitter, they're going to flower, they're not healthy. They're not really great healthy vegetables at this stage. Oh, but I do have a few fruit in my potted plants. I've got this bell pepper. This tomato plant, I did a really good job of nearly killing it when I first planted it, but it seems to be growing back. This is new growth. Basically, I buried it too deep, which is a whole methodology, but I didn't leave a leading thing. So these guys came up. So we'll see if it grows. You'll see it has some fruit, but they're kind of bad. I've been eating them, but they're kind of bad. And then this tomato looks pretty freaking amazing. It's got a lot of cherry tomatoes on it, and it's growing in height. And then these are a couple more peppers I also got from a friend. They're not super happy, but they're not dead. So that's kind of my, the bar around here is pretty low. I'm working on graduating the bar, but if a plant's not dead, we're still in it.